Hi guys, Melissa Manassian here, back with another Melissa Minute. So today I have a very special guest with me, as you can see, a good friend of mine, pastor of my church, Myron Pierce.
Hey, hey.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to be doing a new series here and there. I'm going to be inviting special guests that have impacted my life to come and just share with us. And so today we're just chilling, kicking it on my couch in my living room like I do with my friends normally. And we're just going to invite you into the conversation. So thanks for being here, Myron.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Yeah. So Myron is an author, a speaker, serial entrepreneur.
Emphasis.
You guys think I'm an entrepreneur? This dude.
I don't know. You got me beat.
Yeah.
You have me beat.
We're in competition. Yeah. It's good. Good peer pressure, right?
Yeah.
So something I love about him, though, is that he is also an entrepreneur. And so we share a lot in common with our faith and then as well with just being in the marketplace.
Right.
So he's someone that has really spoken life to me and into my life. And just wisdom into my life, just with all of those things. So iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
And he's been like a mentor to me as well. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So we were having coffee recently, though, and just kind of having a little checkup on like, where's life? What's going on? And he asked me a question that floored me. And he actually made me cry, guys.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to say that. I wasn't going to say, anyway. So, okay, finish.
He made me cry. No. Like, it's going to be like totally put out of proportion now. But no, you asked me, what did you ask me? Something, he said, have you ever made a life plan?
Yeah.
And I had it took me aback and I had to think about it. And then I got very emotional and caught me off guard even. And I told him, I was like, I haven't had the luxury to dream in a long time. And I have been in survival mode just through life circumstances and hardships. And I was like, I think I'm getting into that season now where it's time to dream. And so then he started telling me just a little bit about what he's been up to. So what have you been up to? Share a little bit with us.
Well, things. So I've been up to a lot, but one of the things that I've really been doing is I was blessed to get some training and certification with Donald Miller. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's the author of Story Brand and Marketing Made Simple and as of late, Business Made Simple Coaching. And so I had an opportunity to sit down and have some conversation and some certification around that and the whole idea of life planning and more bigger picture business coaching. But when I asked you that question, it kind of floored me when you got emotional because I can remember the same time where I had an emotional encounter with myself to begin thinking about, do you have a life plan? And I don't know about you, COVID, coming out of COVID, rise and peaks, like you said, kids, work, entrepreneurship, relationships. We can just let life pass us by and we can look up one day and live with so much regret because we didn't take the time to plan our life. And I think the apex of all dreaming begins with an infrastructure called a life plan, right? And so you and I had this conversation. And we're going to give you some details, but we're actually going to have a Dreamcasting event here coming up where you and I, we can get in the room, Melissa, we can get in the room, we can actually plan our life on purpose instead of by accident. Fate is a horrible author.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so when I think about my life, I wouldn't have called it a life plan when we met. Well, years ago, but that's actually where it was. And, I did have the unfortunate luxury of creating a life plan behind the walls. Right. So here I am with a 16 to 33 year sentence. And I read this book. It was called The Purpose and Power of Vision. Ooh. I didn't know that it was a life planning book. And in the book, there's a story about Walt Disney. I think I shared this a couple of weeks ago, but Walt Disney's, his wife was eulogizing him. And after the funeral, she's out, looking at the theme park, and one of the workers come by, right? And he made this statement: "It's a shame he didn't get to see this." As they're looking at Space Mountain. I don't know if you've been there, but they're sitting looking at Space Mountain, and he tells her it's a shame he didn't get to see this. And she responds, "No, it's a shame you didn't get to see it."
Ooh.
And the point in that was he saw Space Mountain before anybody else saw Space Mountain.
Yeah.
And I think that's the foundation of all dreaming, to be able to see it before anybody else can see it. Mm-hmm. Right. And so as I'm reading this book, I'm in tears as I'm reading it, because I'm thinking, man, with all of the chaotic, tumultuous circumstances surrounding my life, with my mama on crack, my dad on heroin, I'm a gangbanger for one of the most notorious gangs in North Omaha, Nebraska. And yet I was like thinking how unfortunate it was to not have this sooner. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, even for our audience, maybe we look at our lives, no matter how deep or not deep it is, but like we look around and we say, man, where could I have been?
Yeah.
If I would have had this a lot sooner.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's how we got into it. I was kind of bouncing some ideas off of Myron, of like some things I'm kind of thinking through business wise, and shouldn't I? And then I think the question though is, does it fit into your life plan? And I think that's how we even segued into it at all. And I was like, what's a life plan? And then he was like, have you created a life plan? And then that's when I got my emotional moment. But it's so true though. It's like when we have, I've heard of course about your goals and that kind of thing. And like, does it align with that? But to think of your life as a whole, what do you want your legacy to be? Yeah. What do you want that end result to be? I have never sat and thought about that. So,
what's crazy? I did a Dreamcasting event with our entrepreneurs in North Omaha. And there was a segment that I was facilitating, and I look over and I'm hearing some noise. I'm like, what in the world is happening? What's that noise? Where's this lady over there just bawling?
Yes.
She is bawling. And so after we got through with that segment, and we kind of went around, we had some conversation. I said, hey, would you mind kind of standing up? I want to talk to you a little bit. And I said, can you tell me what you were processing over there? Mm-hmm. And she looked at me and she said, for the first time in my life, I have clarity.
That's powerful.
Yeah, she said, I have clarity.
Yeah.
And then she kind of said something that you said. She said, I have never had the space to think, to dream, because I'm in the hustle and bustle of life and kids and story after story. And that, on that, about, that day, I have a young guy who came out of gangs and drugs, and he looked at me and he said, Myron, I've never even thought about this. Right. And he's like, I feel like I have purpose, and I feel like I can actually see, not just see where I'm going, but plan where I'm going.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're not even reacting to life as it's happening. You're planning it and deciding, and being intentional at that point, which is totally different results when that happens. Yeah.
A leader with a plan is less reactive when circumstances aren't in their favor.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So for people out there that are just hearing this, because we're responsible for what we know, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is a lot of people. They just haven't even had the idea dropped on them. So we're dropping the idea on you now.
Yes.
So you're responsible now. No.
For what you hear.
Yeah. So maybe turn off the computer if you don't want to hear this anymore. No. So with that, though, why is it so important to dream in your mind, and just from your experiences and what you've been through?
So in this moment, within the last few moments, I've realized that I'm wearing a Martin Luther King shirt.
Yes.
Right? And one of the things that he said in his speech, I have a dream.
Yeah.
He said, I have a dream that black and white and brown and red, that we would all be able to attain this dream in America that we're all created equal. This man stood before millions of people and casted a dream that we're actively pursuing, right? From the one that's creating this video for Melissa Moment, to your ethnic background, to my ethnic background. So what's the why behind that? When I have a dream, it gives people permission to dream.
Yep.
When I have a dream, it gives people opportunity to be a part of my dream, right? And it changes the trajectory of people's lives. Everything we look at, the Wright brothers, they had a dream that we could get to our destination faster, better, quicker, and people laughed at them.
Yes.
You know what one person said to the Wright brothers? If God wanted man to fly, he would have gave him wings. And so as we dream, we have to be prepared for critics and for people who can't see beyond their own situation. So there's a couple reasons why I think it's important to dream. I would hate for our audience to get to the end of our lives, and for you or me to get to the end of our lives and live with regret on what I coulda, shoulda, and woulda did.
Well, and I think someone asked me that actually recently, like, what would, like, worst case scenario for your life, like, what would be the outcome? And that was what came to my mind. I'm like, to look back and regret that there was opportunities missed, risks I didn't take.
Man.
So it's like, let's jump, let's live life to the fullest. But as you were talking, I was thinking of that, like, as I have taken risks, I think a lot of times you do challenge other people's beliefs.
Yes.
And they are then responsible as well to take risks in their life that maybe they haven't taken. So they do get offended sometimes, or so have you experienced that? And I guess what would you say to that for anyone else that maybe is facing that?
So I set out a couple years ago. I had this eureka aha moment that I was going to go to Colorado and make a difference there in their volatile inner city area.
Yeah.
And I had an individual tell me, I don't think you're cut out for that work, and it would be a waste of time. And so I think in those moments, it's easy to use our energy trying to prove them wrong versus using our energy to prove ourselves right.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Yeah.
So I wanted to prove myself right. And so I took a leap of faith. I sold my house, invited others to go on the journey, and moved out to a place I had never been before, only once for vacation, to an area I had never been before. And we set out on this journey to make a community impact. And I look back over that and all the lives that have been changed, the new dreams that were birthed, right? And the fruit that is remaining from that. Didn't mean that, because when you dream, it ultimately there's several variations to a dream, right? You can be thinking, hey, I'm going this way, but you evolve and grow as a person and things change. And so as I look back, one of the things I had to do, Melissa, I had to, number one, not focus on proving people wrong, but prove myself right. Number two, learn on the way. Adapt and modify, and celebrate the small wins so I didn't get discouraged.
Yeah. Well, and don't you think, I think so many times the things that we have the most fear about, the things that we face the most obstacle, especially when you know in your heart it's something you are supposed to do.
Right.
It's like that fear is there for a reason.
Yes.
Because, the enemy or whoever, they know that you're supposed to do this more than we even know it. And they know the impact you're going to make. So that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have a dream, things happen and it doesn't go as planned. But how oftentimes do we decide, well, man, maybe I wasn't supposed to do this.
I made a mistake.
Or I was just sitting down with somebody the other day and I said, listen, you can tally up all the reasons why you shouldn't be doing this. Or you can look internally and see how much you've grown and evolved. That's the power of a dream.
Yes.
Dreams are designed to bring the best out of you and for you to actually see that, like I have potential.
Yeah.
Dreams, when we dream, it releases and gives us the freedom to see what we're made of. Right?
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah. Your true essence.
Yeah.
Your true self.
True self.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for being
I hope
with
I can come
me
back
today. And if you guys want to dream, and if you want to discover your true self and figure out what is your life legacy, join us. So Myron touched on it, but we're going to do a VIP Melissa Minute watcher only for our audience. He's doing a complimentary Dreamcasting event. Dreamcasting, planning your life on purpose. We will have event info in the description box below, but that's going to be on. So if you want to join us, please register. And that is a free event again. And I'm so excited personally to life plan with you.
Yeah.
This will be fun.
Bring your Kleenexes.
Bring your Kleenexes, especially if you're like me and emotional. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching the extended version of this YouTube video. And as part of that, a little extra content with our lovely guest, Myron, which he did not know was coming. We are doing a special lightning round of questions.
Oh, yeah.
You ready?
Lightning round. I'm ready.
Cue the thunder, right?
Yep.
Okay, so question 1. Reflecting on your journey, what most shocks you about your life now?
I'm 38.
I love it. I'm alive.
It shocks me. No, seriously, I shouldn't be here. I should not be here statistically. I beat up the odds.
Yes.
And sent the odds running.
Well, and more so, you're not surviving, you're thriving as well.
That's a really huge shift.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yes, very cool. So kind of on that same line then, what would you tell your 16-year-old self?
Don't quit dreaming.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
And when you fall, get back up.
Yes.
Yeah, and when you fall, get back up.
Cool. And then lastly, what piece of encouragement would you like to leave with our audience today?
Listen, there's one you. I like to tell people this. This fingerprint, there's not another one like it. So take advantage of it, enjoy it, be it, celebrate it, and celebrate you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your heart and who you are with us today. And in that line, while you're at it, guys, don't forget to dream boldly, love extravagantly, and live authentically, because there are purposes and plans for your life that only you were perfectly designed to fulfill. Do you know someone who needs to hear this? Please like, share, subscribe, and as always, hit me up with any of your real estate or renovation needs. I got the hookup and I'm here to help. Thank you so much for watching. Be great and make it a great day.